My name's Hayley and I'm the Specialist Support Assistant for the Communication and Interaction team. And I work and support children and young people with communication, speech and language needs and or autism. So within this video, I would like to demonstrate how to use everyday objects to support children and young people's understanding of key routines and events. So when we use objects as a visual support, we commonly refer to them as objects of reference. And this simply means that particular objects and items are used to represent key routines and activities. And objects are the most concrete way of explaining what we mean. So quite often speech alone can be fleeting, whereas using it alongside visual support offers that permanency and supports that child's understanding because they're able to kind of hold that thought a little longer. So one of the first things we have to consider when introducing objects of reference would be what are the key objects you'd like to use to support the key routines. And it's worth just chatting with your child or young person's school setting to see if they're already using particular key objects or items. And if they're not at the moment, then it's the perfect time to devise a list of key objects and routines together. So I've got some kind of examples here. So kind of just a nappy, that would be representing the task of changing a nappy or toileting. And a comforter, so this might represent bedtime, so it's only used to represent that activity. The child's not given it at any other time, as that would really kind of confuse their understanding. The key, car key, going in the car. A plate for dinner time or snack. And the coat for going outside. So as well as agreeing on what key objects you're going to use, it's really important to also agree on the terminology and language you're going to use alongside. Because if home and setting, they may be using the same object, nappy, but if one setting is saying, oh, nappy on, and another is saying, change bum bum, the child won't necessarily connect those thoughts together and they might not respond. It may be a completely different concept to them. So we always use speech alongside the visual aid. This is to expose the child to speech, to spoken language, but also to help develop that understanding for them to form those associations. And a good tip is ensuring that the key objects are kept in a designated area that's easy to access by the adult, preferably not the child or young person, and this is to avoid misleading them. So one way is that with objects, that we can use objects is in the environment. So it may be that certain items are displayed in the key areas around the home or setting. So the nappy may be placed on the toilet door, a flannel might be placed on the bathroom door, and we tend to have kind of the coats already positioned up near the front door, etc. And depending on the child or young person's needs, when we're trying to cue them in for transition, it may be that we show them, we cue them in with the key object and the key phrase, but they may need that extra support, so hand holding to help lead them to the particular area. And you may also want to have a duplicates of these objects, so you may have the nappy to show the child and young person, and you also might want a nappy kind of stuck on the toilet door, and then once you're arriving to that area, you match it and say nappy. nappy on or change bum bum. So again, that's to help make those associations and our expectations a bit more explicit. For some children, they like to physically hold the object on that transition, and again that helps give that kind of physical reminder of to prepare and anticipate what is expected of them, what's about to happen next. And for some children, they will be able to be cued in with just being shown the object, and they're able to independently transition to that particular area. And it's not uncommon for some children to be able to independently transition, say at home, but need additional support and more adult guidance in the setting, for example. And this is going to be the child's response, and the child's ability is going to be impacted by the environment. So in a setting, there is a lot more sensory information to filter out, to organise, and it's a lot busier. So kind of don't be surprised if there might be different strategies. But as said previously, it's really important to use consistent kind of language and objects so that we can really help the child and young person to fulfill their potential. We would recommend that kind of allowing at least 7 to 10 seconds to expect a response. So we're not expecting to show an object and the child immediately kind of transition. They need that time to be able to shift their attention from what they were doing, involved in, to then having to kind of listen and take in auditory information and visual of the object. Okay, I hope that little demonstration was helpful, and another video that we're looking to put together is how to use objects to support choice making and requests. Okay, thank you.